What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Taville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua and Manny Robles. Shouts out to Chad Engel for reaching out to me as he wanted me to do a video on Anthony Joshua as far as Manny Robles. Okay, now a lot of people send me messages, and I apologize in advance for not getting back to you as quick as I want to, but a lot of times I don't see it because a lot of times they're message requests, and that's how, certain platforms, keep security on. But the question was, or should I say the statement was, that Manny Robles says that he would love to train Anthony Joshua. And can I do a video on that and whether that would be a good thing for AJ? Okay, now, shout out to Chad Engel. Manny Robles wanting to fight or train AJ. I think that's a wish of a lot of trainers. Not just because of the money, but that's, a motivating factor, of course. But, it's the status that Joshua's at. Okay, it's the idea of knowing that Anthony Joshua can adapt. Okay, he's fought twice and won twice. He's been victorious since his loss to Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz, of course, was one of the guys that he beat to get his belts back. Okay, and Manny Robles, I think, would probably be the first person that would want to say this. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Manny Robles would be interested in training Anthony Joshua, simply because he's been around Anthony Joshua for a very long time with the Dominic Brazil and the Andy Ruiz, and then so he knows what he's like. And then what's important, I think, not only that Joshua is, open to be trained, okay, I think another thing is, when you have a fighter that's willing to be trained versus another fighter that's already quote unquote arrived and you couldn't get in the gym, you would want someone easier to be receptive of what you're talking about. Okay. And I feel that not only did Manny care to work with Anthony Joshua, it's how you gel. It's your personality. And I think that's one of the things that helps fighters. How you gel, how you can communicate. Are you open? Are you receptive? And Joshua's, they're all those things. One thing that Manny said about Anthony Joshua was that, he's a good guy. Okay. Now, anytime you have a good guy, regardless of what the skill set is, that's the kind of person that you would want to work with. In my business, if you are the most talented, but you're a dick, people don't want to work with you. The same goes from everything else. If they had a choice, they would go with somebody else. In this case, he would train someone else. So if he had someone like Andy Ruiz, which he no longer trains, and Andy Ruiz couldn't train, and then you see somebody that beat your fighter and then progress, and then he's going to be in the biggest fight probably ever not ever, but in the last 10 years, then you start looking at the idea of possibly training him. Why wouldn't you? Because then you start looking at the fact of, I wish I should have trained this guy instead of the guy that I had. That's what happens. Just for the same reason that Canelo Alvarez is with Eddie Hearn right now instead of Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. Okay? Because Canelo has seen the opposing side or the opposite side, and they see how they conduct themselves, and then make a decision like, that Eddie Hearn ain't a bad promoter. In fact, why did my promoter do, or don't I see my promoter doing these same things that guy's doing? That's why now he's with Matchroom for the next couple fights. Okay, probably longer than that. You look what he did to Mikey Garcia. He started him off with one fight. Now he's with him again. Saying all that to say this, back to Anthony Joshua and Manny Robles. When a trainer sees a fighter, follow instructions, learn new things, go against the grain, okay, and become victorious. Yes, that's the type of fighter you want. You want to train someone like that because you've seen firsthand how receptive that person is and how dedicated they are versus the person that you had. Unfortunately, Andy Ruiz wasn't dedicated at that time. I think he is now. Okay, but that's another video. But Manny Robles saying that he would love to train AJ. You know, what are the cons of that, though? Well, him saying that I want to train AJ, but he has Charles Martin, a guy that AJ beat, and a guy that wants to fight AJ again. I don't think that's the right thing to really be saying at that time, especially training one, because it's difficult having two guys that's wanting to fight each other and you're training them both. That's always awkward. It will always be awkward. You know, ask Deverenchenko and Danny Jacobs about that when they're both trained by Andre Rozier. Okay, so it's a difficult situation. But other than that, though, I could understand why Manny Robles would want to train Anthony Joshua. The money, the respect, and the compatibility of personalities. Because, I mean, the guy can damn near get along with anybody, the last I heard. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Manny Robles wanting to train Anthony Joshua. How would that be? Could he learn anything? Well, let's get to that. I don't know if he could teach him more than he already knows, but many trainers have different things, because Andy Ruiz had natural gifted hand power, hand speed. You know, Charles Martin is doing really well with Manny Robles, but I don't know if anything that I can think right off the top of my dome that Manny would have to offer. The only thing that I can see he would have to offer is what he could teach him about another fighter that he had. So let's say, for example, if he did start training Anthony Joshua, the only thing Anthony Joshua could get from him is the experience or the habits, quote unquote, that Manny Robles done. See, Manny Robles is trained by Eddie Reynoso and Chepo, right? Now, habits don't change overnight. People do certain things. You know, that's just a creature of habit, okay? Manny could teach him those inside things about Andy Ruiz. That's pretty much it, though. Or Charles Martin. If he decides to stop training with Charles Martin, which I don't know why, but if he ever did, he would show me things. But I don't think the new things that he's trained Charles Martin with, the prince that walks this earth like a god. So, you know, that's the only thing that I could see Manny teaching him on, because, you know, I notice him as a good trainer, but I mean, I've never seen him train per se. I've seen his instructions, but never his training. So the only thing that I say he could pull or extract from Manny Robles is something about someone else that he previously trained. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Manny Robles desiring to train Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.